Welcome to The Explainer. If you're an educator, you know firsthand that the classroom landscape is shifting right under our feet. So today, we're zeroing in on something incredibly practical. We're talking real, field-ready video production know-how that you can actually use right away to transform your static K-culture educational materials into dynamic, moving content. This isn't just a bunch of high-level theory, it's about giving you the exact tools to take those carefully planned lessons and literally bring them to life on screen. All right, let's get right into it. So 3. Why are we kicking things off with the number 3? Well, it's because research, and honestly just practical field data, shows us that videos hold a learner's attention exactly 3 times more effectively than text alone. I mean, if you've ever watched a classroom's eyes just completely glaze over during a long reading assignment, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Moving from text to video isn't just some flashy, fun upgrade. It's an absolutely fundamental shift in how effectively your students actually absorb information.
Okay, let's dive into this clear, step-by-step educator's production pipeline that we'll be mastering today. We've got 5 parts: the video advantage, auto subtitles with VRU, multilingual TTS, pro editing in Shotcut, and exporting for impact.
Starting off with Section 1, the video advantage, and why educators need AI video right now. Look, AI has completely leveled the playing field. It's turned video editing from this daunting, expert-only task into a super accessible tool for all of us in the education space. There are 3 core pedagogical reasons why you absolutely need to adopt this AI pipeline right now. First up, like we just said, it literally triples that learner attention span. Second, it massively improves accessibility for both visual and auditory learners. And third, the scalability is just off the charts. You record a concept once, and boom, you reach thousands of students instantly. This is all about maximizing your real-world educational impact. Moving right along to Section 2, auto subtitles with VRU. This is basically magic for Korean subtitles. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that number right there, 95%. View is the first practical tool in our pipeline, and it boasts a staggering 95% accuracy rate. When it processes Korean audio, it's actually analyzing voice signals all the way down to the phoneme level, using deep context analysis to spit out subtitles that are near perfect right out of the gate. For K-culture educators who have dealt with the historically grueling, soul-crushing task of manual Korean subtitling, getting this level of precision from an automated tool is a real game changer. So, how does this actually work in the field? Well, it's incredibly empowering because the interface is dead simple. Here's all you do. Step 1, you literally just drag your video right onto the timeline. Step 2, click that big Generate Subtitles button. Step 3, select Korean as your language. And Step 4, hit Start. That's the whole shebang. Within moments, your entire lecture is transcribed and perfectly timed to your video. And hey, if you need to manually tweak that remaining 5%, you just click right into any text box and fix it. Easy. But here's the thing. View isn't just a subtitle machine. It has this fantastic auto-highlight feature that is absolutely perfect for creating review materials. Let's say you've got a heavy 30-minute lecture. Rue's algorithm can instantly compress that into a punchy 3-minute review video. How does it do that? It acts like a giant puzzle solver, looking for 4 specific markers: shifts in your voice intensity, changes in your emotional tone, the repetition of specific keywords, and visual changes, like slide transitions. It automatically sniffs out the most pedagogically dense moments of your lecture and stitches them all together for you. Let's jump into Section 3, Multilingual TTS, Voicing the Global Classroom. As K-culture continues to explode globally, text-to-speech is essentially your passport to creating multilanguage content without having to hire expensive voice actors. And this brilliantly illustrates the rapid evolution of this tech. We started way back with Generation 1's clunky, robotic voices that honestly just distracted students from learning. Then we got Gen 2 with somewhat natural tones, but now, we are firmly in Generation 3, using neural network voices that are incredibly human-like, and we are rapidly approaching Gen 4's full emotional expression. The quality is finally high enough to give your global students a truly immersive classroom experience. Now, a quick but absolutely crucial warning here. When creating multilingual content, we have to be super careful with our scripts. If you just grab a literal translation of your Korean text and feed it into an English TTS engine, it completely strips away the essential K-culture context. For instance, if you translate hanbok as just Korean traditional clothes, you completely lose the specific cultural identity. You really must retain that proper noun hanbok to teach the culture accurately.
And here's another famous culinary example to really hit the nail on the head. Calling it Korean pickled vegetables? Yeah, no way. That completely misses the mark and strips away the rich, beautiful heritage of the dish. It has to be translated and spoken as kimchi. As an educator, you've got to carefully review and manually adjust these culturally significant terms in your scripts before you feed them into your English, Chinese, or Japanese TTS tools. It makes all the difference.
Okay, moving right along to section 4, Pro Editing in Shotcut, the final brushstroke. All right, let's talk about Shotcut. This is a free open source video editor, which means it is absolutely perfect for school budgets. In a real-world practical setting, speed is literally everything. So here are the essential keyboard shortcuts that make slicing and dicing your lecture footage as easy as just typing up a document. You drag and drop to import. You tap I and O on your keyboard to set your in and out points. You press S to instantly split a clip. And you press delete to just wipe out any errors or awkward dead air. I promise you, mastering just these 4 little shortcuts will cut your editing time in half. For sure.
And Shotcut isn't just about cutting clips, it lets you do some really advanced K-culture styling to keep your students hooked. You can throw in dynamic text intros or use picture-in-picture, which, by the way, is fantastic for dual-view teaching, where you show your face while demonstrating a cultural artifact on screen. You can also play with advanced color correction. Like, if you're showing a traditional Hanok house, you can deliberately boost those yellow tones to really enhance that warm, traditional feel. Or even slap on a film grain filter to give it a vintage, historical vibe.
And finally, section 5, Exporting for Impact, focusing on platforms and output. So, the crucial point here is that you've just built an incredible lesson, but your output settings matter just as much as your actual editing. High-quality output means you have to match your technical settings to your students' actual viewing habits. If you're uploading to YouTube, a 1080p resolution at 30 frames per second is basically the gold standard. But if you're uploading directly to a school learning management system that has strict file size limits, you'll definitely want to drop that down to 720p at 25 frames per second. And what if you know your students primarily learn on their phones? Well, keep that resolution high, but intentionally boost your overall brightness and dramatically increase your subtitle size during the edit so they can actually easily read it on a small screen. Well, there you have it. We have covered the complete educator's pipeline, the true power of video, automated Crane subtitles with VRU, voicing the world with TTS, and professional open source editing using Shotcut. You now have the real, practical, field-ready know-how to bring your curriculum to life. So I want to leave you with this one thought. How will AI transform your very next lesson? Don't wait around. Take these tools, apply them to the teaching module you're building right now, and just watch your students' engagement soar. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy teaching.